Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. On Shabbat, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. On Shabbat, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם.
Inclusivity. It's in our DNA here at Congregation Micah. What does it really mean? It's our policy and practice of providing equal access to opportunities and resources for all people, especially those who might be otherwise excluded or marginalized. It's why we welcome those who intermarry and treat all people with equal worth, regardless of their color, economic status, appearance, and/or sexual orientation.
It's also why we provide aid in our schools for different types of learners. History is a constant reminder of what it was like for Jews to be sidelined, ostracized, and targeted for hate. And our namesake, the prophet Micah, teaches us to seek justice, love mercy, and march humbly. So Nashville's Jewish community is showing its support for the LGBTQ community at Nashville Pride 2022. We will have a booth at the festival, and for the first time since COVID, we will be marching in the parade.
Join us, Congregation Micah, Saturday, June 25th at 10 a.m. at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall State Park.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבר אחים גם יחד. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. So glad you are here. So I see that our bat mitzvah is sitting towards the back in the middle. It's going to take her a minute to get up and out. Ava, I was going to invite you to come forward with your sisters and your mom and your dad, but I'm thinking you should bring also your California friends who are here for your bat mitzvah. And you should all come up and light our candles to get us started for Shabbat this week. So we are celebrating Ava's bat mitzvah this weekend. All right, here we come. Ava's got grandparents and best friends from California and a couple sisters. Everyone's coming forward.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner v'tzivanu lahadlik ner v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Ya la 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 la. Ya
right, thank you to the Sandberg clan. We're going to continue welcoming in Shabbat this week by welcoming the angels of Shabbat to join us. The words of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Moachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seirchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Would Ava Sandberg please report back to the Bima? I shouldn't have sent you back to the back row. Ava, come on back. You're going to hang out up here for a while. Yeah. Trapping yourself back there like you're done for the evening. All right. We are going to rise together for the words of Hatzi Kaddish. I got you right here. Is that good for you?
Yekarav, Yekara, Shemei, Rabba.
Amen.
B'la'ama devarach yidute, v'yalif machute, b'chayev chom uven yom echon, v'chaye decho beit Yisrael. B'gala uvizman, kari, v'imeru, amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba mevorah, le'olam olam me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata melechemata, damiran belma, imeru, amen.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated as we continue singing together the words of Ma'ariv Aravim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bibaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Bechokma poter
Ava will continue leading us as we chant the words of Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך.
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
The word is emet. It means truth or what is real to us. Emet, there is no place where you, God, are not. Even in the wilderness, there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion and guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your emet for us is certain and established now and forevermore. And so, like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar v'koresh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar v'koresh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
So we're going to ask Alexander and Wyatt to bring their dad and their mom, who's coming back right now. We're going to invite the mom and dad and Alexander and Wyatt to come up to the bima. So this millennium alone has brought us all sorts of craziness. We've had new wars, financial crises, and of course, a novel coronavirus. And many would-be parents have asked, should we bring children into the world? I know you like Miss Lisa and her music. I saw that. Now, there is a midrash, a story, that comes to mind whenever I think about this very question, should we bring kids into the world? And it's from Shemot Rabbah. It's from our rabbis, our sages, who tell a story about how after Pharaoh decreed the drowning of all Israelite boys, Moses' father, Amram, decided to divorce from his wife. This is not a true story, but I don't know what is true. He refused to risk having a boy, only to be killed as soon as he was born. And since Amram was well respected, the rest of the Israelites followed his actions. It was actually Moses' sister, Miriam, who convinced Amram to change his mind, castigating him for turning the possibility of the end of the Israelites into a certainty of it. If not for this act, Moses would not have been born. And then what would become of all the Israelites? There's no certainty in life. We all know that. We are like the Israelites in Egypt. Danger and destruction either loom on the horizon or surround us. Having a baby could just lead to them being thrown into the Nile. But just like the Israelites, we don't know what the future holds, so we don't give in to despair. Caitlin and Bert, in a time when certainty does not exist, your boys bring purpose. When pessimism is an easy default, they make us hopeful. They are you laying down your roots, they are certainty, and they are purpose. And I don't know if either of your boys will be another Moses, but just by existing, they make this world a better place. Wyatt, do you know that? You make this world a better place. It's true. And so we're going... Yeah, and we're gonna bless you because you're so awesome with a Hebrew name. Do you want that? Yeah. All right, good. So before we bless you with your Hebrew names, I'm gonna ask Mom or Dad to tell us about the names you chose.
Okay. You ready?
Wait. I'm gonna give you this.
Oh, it's okay.
No, I'm not. Maybe I'm not going
I
to.
can talk loud.
Yeah, just talk loud. No, here we go.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
So we chose for Xander, his name is Alexander Thomas. And our A name that we chose for the beginning is Aleph. He is the first grandchild for both sets of grandparents. So Aleph is first letter of the alphabet, chosen one, and he's pretty special. Second name Nachman, after my grandfather, Norman, whose Hebrew name was Nachman Yahiel. So he is Aleph Nachman. Hello. And Wyatt is Wyatt Edward, after my grandfather, and his Hebrew name is an ode to Bert's side of the family. Bert's grandfather, Bertram's Hebrew name was Beryl, and his middle name is Edward, and we chose the E name Inav. Inav means grape, which is an ode to Bert's father, who grows grapes, makes jam. Okay, so we have Aleph Nachman and Beryl Inav. Do you want to go say hi?
Can you say that in your microphone?
Can you say hi?
Oh, you're shy?
Now?
Say hi.
You're shy.
Okay. All right. So we are going to bless you with your Hebrew names and sing a Shehekianu, because the Shehekianu is a prayer that... Hi.
I'll do that all.
Because the Shehekianu is a prayer where we say thank you for the first of so many times that we get to celebrate together. All right, let's do this. Shall we do this? All right, so Alexander Thomas, we share with you the name by which you will be known in the house of Israel, Aleph Nachman, and Wyatt Edward, we share with you the name you will be known by in the house of Israel, Beryl Einav, and we sing this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
May God bless us for reaching this incredible moment, and may you find joy and goodness in your new name. High five. Yeah, you want it? All right. Good job, guys. I'm going to take him and sign him. All right, so we're not just going to pray for peace for the people of Israel. We're going to pray for peace for Bert and Caitlin, that they may know sleep and quiet. And Pamela's going to come on up and help us with that. A little bit of harmony here.
Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, L'shalom, V'hamidenu, Shomreinu, Shomreinu l'chaim. We pray for a time when our worries will cease. Create in this moment a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, L'shalom, V'hamidenu, Shomreinu, Shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu, l'chaim u'l'shalom, me'tav ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkah. Shalom aleinu, v'kol hamo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We pray for a time when our worries will cease. Create in this moment a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace, a shelter of peace.
So I think I've mentioned before that one of the first cantors who really moved me with their music was Jeffrey Klepper. I didn't really understand that music could take us to new spiritual places that words, readings, even sermons couldn't do. And then I met Lisa Silver, and I really realized that music could do that for us. And so it's even more amazing when Lisa Silver shares a Jeffrey Klepper piece. So.
Yismechu v'malchucha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malchucha, v'korei oneg. Yismechu v'malchucha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malchucha, v'korei oneg. Am ekadeshei shvi. Hashvi ratzita bo, v'kidashto. Yismechu v'malchucha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malchucha, v'korei oneg. Yismechu v'malchucha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu v'malchucha, v'korei oneg. Chemdat yamimoto karata, zecher lema'aseh bereshit. בראשית. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך בקוראי עונג. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת. ישמחו במלכותך בקוראי עונג.
So the first mention of love in the Torah occurs when God tells Abraham to offer up Isaac, whom you love. Now, why should the Torah choose this improbable moment to mention love for the first time? For a moment, let's just set aside all the other questions involved in this very difficult story of Abraham and Isaac to ponder why love is introduced here. All love is an element of sacrifice. The Hebrew word for sacrifice is korban, which comes from the root to draw close. When you sacrifice for another, you draw close to them. One of the reasons we so treasure our children is we have given them so much. The idea is suggested in the Hebrew word for the Isaac story, akedah, binding. All relationships require offerings. To be betrothed in Jewish tradition, one must give a gift, usually a ring. Most importantly, to love another as a friend or family or partner, you must make an offering of yourself. We often ask those in love, what do you feel? We might better ask, what would you give? So with that in mind, I invite you to rise now as Ava returns to lead us in the words of the Amidah.
Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Bezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verochech Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishene Afar Milchamocha Bal Gevurot Umido Melach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Ata L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh V'Kudoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
I invite you to take these next few moments for your own silent prayer, and when you've completed it, please find your seat.
days be lighter? How could the heart feel? How might the lands get wider if we love like that? Really love like that, like that. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, l'reacha kamocha, kamocha. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, l'reacha kamocha, kamocha. Who could be saved? How might the world be softer? Who could your heart heal? What is the gift you'd offer if we love like that? Really love like that, like that. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, l'reacha kamocha, kamocha. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, l'reacha kamocha, kamocha. How would the world look?
We pause to think of those who are in need of healing on this Shabbat. We think of Wayne Ritt, Sue Snyder, and Abdel Ghani. If there are those you'd like to share for our Misha Barak prayer, those names you'd like to share, please do so as my hand moves around the room. We offer this prayer of healing.
Dear God of our ancestors,
Dear God of our ancestors,
help us renew our faith.
help us renew our faith.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Grant us a perfect healing.
Bring peace to all our days.
Bring peace to all our days.
El na refana lanu. El na refana lanu. Restore our strength of body.
Restore our strength of body.
Help clarify our mind.
Help clarify our mind.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Refresh our tired spirits.
Rejuvenate our lives.
Rejuvenate our lives.
Refana lanu. Refana lanu. Thank you for all these blessings.
Thank you for all these blessings.
Throughout our days and nights.
Throughout our days and nights.
precious gift of life.
This precious gift of life.
Elna Refanala, Refanalanu. Elna Refanala, Refanalanu. Elna Refanala, Refanalanu. Elna Refanala, Refanalanu.
When people ask me what my Jewish upbringing was like, I usually share that my family celebrated Shabbat every Friday night, but that our Shabbat dinner was chicken parmesan. My siblings and I were picky eaters, and chicken parm was one of the few meals that all three of us liked, making it a holy enough dish to override the laws of keeping kosher. We'd say the prayers over the candles, grape juice, and challah, and then my parents would bless my siblings and me with a blessing that I later learned was called Birkat Habanim, the blessing of the children. Around the table, my parents would stretch their hands over all three of our heads and speak in Hebrew and English the words of the priestly blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God shine God's face toward you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God lift God's face to you and give you peace. The words of this three-part blessing come from this week's Torah portion, Parshat Naso, and they form the oldest prayer in Jewish tradition. Not only is it the only articulated blessing offered in the Torah, but it is also the source text for the oldest recorded piece of biblical writing ever. In 1979, archaeologists excavating in Ketev Chinom, an archaeological site outside of Jerusalem, discovered 2 silver amulets. These guys. Engraved on these amulets was a variation of these same verses. The amulets date back to the 6th century BCE. 2,700 years ago, our people were still offering these holy words. They're now preserved in the Israel Museum as both an archaeological and spiritual artifact. There's a reason that these verses have endured in sanctity and significance for so many centuries. They communicate our most essential human hopes: protection, compassion, and peace. Bible scholar Nechama Leibovitz explained there are in fact 3 separate blessings, which progress from the blessing of physical protection through the blessing of spiritual shelter to the blessing of shalom, wholeness, completeness, or peace. It's structured almost according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We first need to feel safe, then we can feel personally and spiritually fulfilled, and then we can live in peace. It's such a simple and profound ask, and yet, as we sadly know, these conditions are not always a given. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks taught, "We are what we pray for, and if you seek to understand a people, look at its prayers." The Jewish people did not ask for wealth or power or hunger after empire. They had no desire to conquer or convert the world. They asked for protection, for grace, and peace. That is all our ancestors prayed for, and it is still all we need. This is why still today we offer this blessing not just at the dinner table, but at Shabbat and festival services and at so many important occasions in our lives. When a child receives their Hebrew name or becomes Brit Mitzvah, with a wedding couple under the chuppah, when rabbis get ordained, as I'll find out soon, both on a regular basis and at these moments of sacred transition, we remind ourselves of what matters most: protection, compassion, and peace. In ancient times, the priestly blessing could only be offered by the Kohanim, the Israelite priests. But because our reform movement has pushed back against old school hierarchy, we actually believe that anyone can offer it. Some people choose to lift their hands, nisiat kapayim, like the ancient priests did, and some separate their fingers so, as the Midrash teaches, the divine presence can stream through. This also became the Vulcan sign, for those of you Trekkies. Others cover their heads and their hands with their talis out of respect for God or for protection from the sheer power of the blessing's transmission. However the blessing is transmitted, what I actually find most important is making eye contact. This is not at all mentioned in any text, and based on this whole talis tradition, it might actually be prohibited. But offering this blessing to someone you care about is such a loving, intimate gift, and it's only made more personal and meaningful by actually seeing the person in front of you. Rabbi Larry Hoffman, one of Rabbi Lori and my teachers in rabbinic school, shared, "The secret of the priestly blessing is this very mutuality, people taking time out both to bless and be blessed, sometimes one and sometimes the other, but either way, reveling in the knowledge that being made in the image of God, we can make real the highest heights of human dignity." When we bless each other, when we say out loud and in relationship our sweetest, deepest hopes for each other, we make something special happen. A final essential Shabbat tradition was talking to my grandparents. Like clockwork, every Friday night, the 215 Philadelphia area code would pop up on our caller ID, and my siblings and I would take turns recounting our weeks and saying Shabbat Shalom before we passed the phone to the next kid. Now, my Shabbat calls with my grandma Barbara are usually reflections of the sermon that I just gave, and she's actually watching right now, so Shabbat Shalom, Grandma Barbara. Sacred time is sacred time. This is what Shabbat is to me: chicken parmesan, abundant blessings, and time with family. The ways that my family celebrated together prioritize these most essential values, the ones that my parents actually prayed for during the children's blessing: connection, love, and peace, especially given the dinner compromise. And tonight, here at Micah's Grandparent Shabbat, we get to honor this grandparent part of my childhood Shabbat trifecta and bless the grandparents and grandkids who have joined us. So if you are here with your grandparent or grandchild, I'll invite you to stand up with each other. You can stand up. And even if you don't have that specific person here, you can still stand up if there's someone on your mind. And in the words of Rabbi Hoffman, we can engage in this sacred mutuality and bless and be blessed by each other. So if you want to put a hand around each other, if you want to do the Levite sign, whatever you want to do, we are going to offer these words. Miss Lisa is going to chant them in Hebrew, and I'll say them in English, and you can repeat them after me.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God shine God's face on you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift God's face to you and give you peace. Amen. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Grandma Barbara, we think she's awesome. We're not sending her back to New York, so you can come visit us in Nashville. We would love to have you. Okay, if you are a grandchild and you're here tonight, we would like for you to come forward for the words of Elenu to help us open our ark doors. And everyone's going to please rise. So if you are a grandchild, and I know there's a lot of you in here who are grandchildren, I got a lot back there in the Ava row. I got Eli. No, you're not the only one. We got a lot of people coming. All right, Eden, you're coming. Sierra, you're a grandchild. Come on. Let's do it. Yep. I got Sam, Anna Rose. Where's Josh? There he is. All right. Okay, we're opening the ark doors, guys. Collective opening. Eli, you lead one side. Sam, you got the other one. All right, yeah.
Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, l'atei gedula li'yotzer bereshit, shelo asanu ki goyeh haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anaknu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו ושמו אחד.
You may be excused. We're going to remain standing as we honor the following Yort sites on this Shabbat. Art Lubell, Dorothy Jacobs, Fred Aaron, Harry Grundman, Erwin Green, Israel Kahn, Jack Koch, Jacob Seidner, James David Barron, Joseph Krifcher, Lyman A. Castleberg, Morris Horowitz, Morton Malkowski, Cleveland Edward O'Neill, Natalie Feldman, Sabina B. Grief, Sam Wolf, Sydney Levine, Tamsin Love. If I've not mentioned the name of a loved one, please share their name at this time. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Usei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. We ask that those who are in mourning find peace and comfort, and together we say amen. So you can be seated, and I just have a few announcements. First of all, thank you to the Heyman and the Sandberg families for sponsoring our wine down this evening. Thank you and thank you. Torah study is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on Zoom. Mazel tov to Ava, who will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning at 10:30. You're all welcome to join us if you'd like. It's going to be pretty epic. She's awesome. Sports trivia at 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Mahjong in the social hall at 12:30 on Tuesdays as well. Schmooze and Views always at 10:30 on Thursday mornings. So this coming Wednesday, if you've lost a loved one, And it doesn't have to be recently. If you just are thinking about someone who is important to you, that the grieving process continues for you, Tony Jacobson from Jewish Family Service and I are going to be leading a really amazing program. It's quite powerful, called Beads of Grief. It's a creative arts program using symbolic beads that become metaphors for remembrance, and that will be this Wednesday at 12 p.m. Just let me know if you're coming so we can make sure to have enough supplies. There's no cost for the program, but it's really quite wonderful. So it's a wonderful way to sort of honor someone important to you who's no longer living, and whether it's recent or been many years, we welcome you to join us. And that's this Wednesday at 12, so please just RSVP to let me know that you'll be there. Please mark your calendars, because this coming Wednesday evening is our annual meeting. It's at 7 p.m. on Zoom, and it's really important to have the participation of as many of our members as possible. You can register on our website. And then next Friday, a week from tonight, will be our installation service at 6 o'clock as always, where we'll install our incoming board members and honor our Micah Mensch Award recipients, who are Wendy Spira and Jim Gilmore, and we are really excited to celebrate them. So we hope that you'll join us for that. Should be terrific. There's a whole other page, but this is important. The Nashville Pride Festival will be the weekend of June 25th and June 26th at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall, and we are participating as a Jewish community in both the parade, and we have a Jewish community booth. And I know Pam's going to be there, and I'll be there on Saturday. And if you'd like to march with us or just be at the booth, please join us. You can sign up. Again, that's through our website. All right, everything else is on our website, so just check it out. Don't miss anything. And I'll invite everyone to please rise for Kiddush, and we'll be on our way.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu. Zikaron lama'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lamikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'anim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, inchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat.
L'chaim, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom.